Push the broadcast button. And we are live. What's going out there, YouTube? It has been a hot minute since we've done anything with Google Hangouts because it has been screwing us a lot. But we are here. I've got Anthony. I've got Jonathan or Blackwing 2040. I've got the famous JOR-ELS Alexandria. And we're about to go in on the Suicide Squad movie. For better or for worse, we're about to get into the nitty-gritty. And actually, I haven't even revealed to these guys like what we're actually going to be talking about in regards to this whole entire discussion. But I'm gonna go ahead and lay it out now, and then I'm gonna let them introduce themselves and talk about their channels. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about our impressions of Suicide Squad as a comic book film, as far as actual superhero genre film. Where does it weigh up with other superhero films in general? And what do we compare and contrast negatives and positives as it being a superhero film? The next part is going to be our impressions of this actually as a film in general, just a regular movie, negatives, positives, narrative-wise, plot-wise, editing-wise. And the thing that I'm going to specify about this impression is this is our impressions of the theatrical release. There's a lot of other talk that's happened about alternative cuts and everything like that. We're just talking about the theatrical release. We don't even know about the other one, but I want to make sure I specify that. The next section is going to be our thoughts on the things that we know or that we can kind of prove based on what David Ayer and other people have alluded to about alternative cuts, deleted scenes, and then plot changes to the narrative in the position of these characters in general. And then the fourth thing is Warner Brothers versus DC. Is Warner Brothers crippling DC? Is DC not acting on its own and not trusting in its directors? Who is to blame? We're going to go into that in our perspectives, just looking at what we've done from director's cuts or looking at like Man of Steel, looking at our past. Because a lot of people in their perspective is that, you know, Marvel's been ahead of the game, but this is all started long before all this. So we're going to go into all four of these topics. I'll let these men introduce their channels. So, Anthony, you up first. What's going on with you, man?
Hey, guys. I'm glad to be here. I am a huge fan of all you guys. Basically, for my channel, all I do is like trailer reaction, movie reviews, TV reviews. Yeah, I just did a video up about who should direct Man of Steel 2, and I did a video about what Sam was just talking about, like what should DC be doing moving forward, leading up to Justice League. So I'm glad to be here. I hope that we have a good, respectful conversation about Suicide Squad, which has been very divisive. So I'm happy to be here, and yeah, I'll let everyone else introduce themselves.
Do you want?
Yeah, thanks for coming, bro. All right, JOR-ELS or Jonathan, whichever one.
Yeah,
I'll let Master JOR-EL go first.
I guess I'll go first. I don't know. My channel, JOR-ELS Alexandria, that's where I'm at. I do like a lot of reviews and reaction videos as well. Mostly it's just like movie related, but there's TV show and music content, and I do put up a little bit of my art as well through my channel. So yeah, that's a little bit about my channel, JOR-ELS Alexandria.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What about you, Jonathan?
Worst, last but not least, guys. On my channel, I'm Blackwing 2040. On my channel, I do comic book reviews, movie reviews. I do matchups between DC and Marvel characters. I do voice acting impressions, top 10s, you name it. Pretty much anything you can expect from any comic book channel.
That's dope. This man's pretty good at impressions as well. Like, I can't wait for you to start coming out with like your own segments of those, man. All right, but let's go ahead and get to the brass tacks about this. Like I said, the very first thing that we're going to try to lay off on is what is our impressions of Suicide Squad as a superhero film, as a comic book film, genre film. Who wants to go first? What are your impressions of it? Good, bad, or just in general? Like, what are your thoughts of Suicide Squad?
I'll go first, and pretty much my first impressions of Suicide Squad is it's very different from any DC movie that we've had in this universe, at least. You know, I love the chemistry between the cast. You know, I thought everyone was 100% gave 110% in the performances. I thought the style was cool and was necessary to make it more fun, which some people have complained about that DC has not been a fun franchise. But I think that with this movie, there was you could tell there was some editing issues. Some things were cut out, obviously. But I think overall, I did have a fun time. I understand the mistakes and the flaws of the movie, obviously. But I think my first impression coming out was I loved all these characters, and I want to see more. And I'm like glad that I was able to experience that, in the theater. And and I saw the movie twice. So, and the second time I saw it, I liked it even better. So, those are my overall first impressions of the movie. So, I'm curious to know what JOR-ELS thinks of the movie.
Dang.
We already know the answer to that.
Wow. Oh, wow. What is everybody coming for this man? JOR-ELS, you don't have to go next if you don't want to. You can go next.
No, I'll go next. I have no problem with that. I guess you said like as a superhero film, comic book film?
Just as a superhero film in the genre of superhero movies, what was your impressions of it?
Oh,
we're gonna go to film in a second.
I'll try my best. This is a little bit weird for me because I don't do that usually. I just any film I just judge as a film and like that's it, period. But I guess I could try. I mean, I guess as a superhero film, I don't know. I don't think it stacks that neatly as a masterful or as like a really, really good superhero film. Personally, it's quite messy. I don't think it's like worse than Batman vs Superman, for example, but it's not like 10 miles ahead of Batman vs Superman like as well. There's enjoyable moments for sure, but it's definitely flawed for sure. I think that's the only thing I can really say on that.
All right.
But
and then
it's not what is it, Batman and Robin? It's not that. So.
Okay, so when you think about like Catwoman, Batman, Robin, Spider-Man 3, it's not as bad as
Green Lantern.
Yeah. Okay.
No. It's not that bad, but it's got some problems, for me at least.
Is it on like maybe Thor 2 or Thor 1 level or?
Thor 2 or what was the other one?
Thor 1 or Thor 2. I was gonna say Iron Man 3, but I'm kind of biased on that. Some people love that movie. I hated it. So that's a whole other thing.
I hate that movie so much. Jesus Christ.
That's a really great question, man. Maybe a little bit, but maybe not because I don't know that I could ever actually watch Thor 1 or 2 or Iron Man 3 ever again. I think I could watch Suicide Squad again, but I wouldn't want to. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then Jonathan, what are your impressions as a superhero film? You've seen a lot of superhero films, animated and film-wise. Where does it stack up for you impression-wise?
Oh, for me, it was, and like you said yourself, people are gonna be comparing this to Guardians. I didn't really have that mindset when I went in to see this movie, so when I saw it, I was just completely open-minded. I enjoyed every moment that happened, especially the Joker and Harley moments. It just brought me back to moments with the animated series, which I really, really loved.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not mad some characters didn't really speak much as others. Like Killer Croc barely said much, even though he's like one of those characters in those movies where he has the least amount of dialogue. That happens a lot, so I'm not complaining about that. So as it didn't let me down, but I just wanted more of Jared Leto's Joker. That's what I'm saying, because Jared Leto's Joker really had me interested, and when I saw his performance, I saw a mixture of Mark Hamill and Heath Ledger in Jared Leto's performance. To me, that's what I saw.
Yeah. I mean, I'll capitalize on kind of all y'all's notes. Like, the movie itself, I've seen it twice. It's got a lot of rewatchability for me because I actually had fun with it. Like, I couldn't believe this is the first time I've seen Will in like 5 years. Actually, a movie I really was like, this is Will Smith from the 90s. Like, I really enjoyed his charisma, his enjoyment and playability with this character, and it was a different character that he's played before. Margot Robbie, she's a standout for me. I mean, like you said, Jonathan, going back to the 90s series, that is Harley Quinn incarnate. Like, she couldn't have played it any more perfectly. Wardrobe-wise, you know, it's negatable whether or not it should have kept more of a classic homage. But then when we got that Alex Ross, you know, moment, I was like, okay, it didn't need to happen anyway. They did good. Something else. It was amazing to watch. Like, it was, I geeked out in the theaters, but I was like, okay, they didn't.
I wanted to scream for joy.
Exactly like, yeah, but I mean, for me, impression-wise, as a superhero film, I actually really did enjoy it. I think that the soundtrack caught me off guard because I really enjoyed the soundtrack. I really enjoyed the visual aesthetics, like the way that they actually did the titles in the pan for each one of the characters. They just really try to have fun with the film in general. But what did really bother me was a lot of the editing, which was a lot of times where I felt like, man, this is another BVS situation where a lot of things were kept out, where a lot of things just didn't plan out as far as the plot. And the biggest disappointment, as any superhero like fan knows, is that generic villain. There's just a cookie cutter villain. That's the reason why I hate the Thor movies. That's the reason why I hate a lot of the Iron Man movies. That they just throw away like that, and it's like, what the heck was that crap, you know? And unfortunately, Enchantress was the byproduct of that, and it didn't make a lot of sense. But I felt that there was a lot of the narrative that pointed more towards Amanda Waller and Joker being more the antagonist than her. But it kind of played it safe with keeping her as a villain. And for a superhero fan, like, I wanted more. I wanted something different. And that's the reason why I lowered my rating than I normally would have. Because I was like, what is that? I don't want to see the generic stuff. Like, go for it. If you can go for it, go for it, unfortunately. But those were my thoughts of it. So let's see. Impressions as a film. Now, this is the theatrical film. This is the cut that we got. This is, I can't remember what the way David Ayer described it, but he had a linear cut, and this wasn't it. This is the cut that the studio's execs, they wanted to polish and sharpen after 7 different cuts or whatever, and this is what we got. Now, I don't know who wants to go first, but based on the editing, based on the plot, based on the narrative, and a lot of convoluted things that kind of happen, as opposed to the enjoyment side of it, let's go into that. So what did y'all think as critics? What did y'all think about the different things to pick apart of the movie, or that did work? Because, I mean, one thing that I thought wouldn't work was Jared Leto, and I thought every moment he was on screen, it wasn't too jarring that I was like, no, I like this. I was like, he actually was enticing me to feel fear. It was like levels of Scarface mixed with Mark Hamill's Joker, and I didn't think that would work from a narrative standpoint, but it did when he was up there. But then there wasn't enough of it. It was always cut, and those were problems I had. But I'll let y'all go. What did y'all think impression-wise as a theatrical release? What did y'all think?
I'll be back real quick because my computer is about to die, so I need that charger.
All right, go ahead, Darrell.
Real quick. You can go ahead first, Jarrell.
Me? Okay. Just talking about it like as just a film. Right?
Yes.
All right. Well, that's the only way I could judge any movie. But it's, as a film, I don't think it's not great, but it's not terrible. Again, it's not a movie that I would ever want. The theatrical cut, anyways. It's not something that I would want to watch it again or care to, but it's more like a movie that I would want to watch like certain sections of, because I thought some sections were pretty fantastic, like the Alex Ross tribute that he mentioned, or my favorite sequence in the movie, things like that, just watching parts of it. But as a film, it's just a bit of a mess. But it's weird because it's not like this train wreck of a movie. It's just really flawed, in my opinion. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like the last Will Smith movie, ironically, with Margot Robbie, Focus. Like, how many people are substantially like, oh my god, I love that movie. I want to watch it all the time. I love the pieces. Not many. That's kind of how I feel about this movie. And Focus wasn't a train wreck. It was terrible. It was just sort of
Yeah, I'm still here. It's audio is just a little. It's going back and forth a little bit.
For me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, which part did you catch?
I caught most of it. It's just a little crackled. That's all.
Okay.
Let me see.
Well, here, let someone else go really quick, and I'll try to leave it and come back and see if it changes anything.
Yeah, and I'll try to reiterate what you just said. I listened and heard everything Jarrell said. He said in a lot of layman's terms that the movie itself is not a mess of a movie. It's actually a good movie there. There's a lot of different pacing-related issues. There's a lot of different editing that changed the narrative as a plot, but it definitely is not that mess of a movie necessarily. It actually is an enjoyable movie. He just doesn't know if he'll be able to watch it again. If any of y'all didn't hear what he said initially. But Anthony, what did you think as far as this as a film? You've reviewed a lot of films as well, so.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I understand what Jarrell's saying. As a film, the thing is, like, as a comic book fan, I can relate to what some people are saying. You know, if you've never read a comic book, if you've never seen Alex Ross's artwork, or if you've never seen the Deadshot painting of him with the bullets, you're not going to understand a single one of those Easter eggs. But as a film, it still suffers from strange editing, unnecessary music, obviously, a horrible villain. But the thing about it as a film, I judge it as a black comedy in a way, because like stuff like that is so funny to me. And if this is a movie, you have to turn your brain off. You cannot like be analyzing every single thing in the movie. But I still, as a film, as a comedy, you really think about it when, you know, stuff like when Rick Flagg is with the Suicide Squad and he, you know, gets out his tablets, like, I present to you the voice of God, and then Amanda Waller pops out. I just think it's so funny, those little, you know, those little nuggets that, you know, like, these are villains, the movie about villains, and I guess some people who might not like that kind of humor. But as a film, you know, it was fun. It's not memorable as a film. I understand why I get the hate. I honestly do. But yeah, I mean, as a film overall, it suffers a lot. Like when you compare it to like Dark Knight, the Dark Knight had like all these, you know, stories and messages, and the editing was really, really well done. So I think when you judge it that way, it's not even close, you know. But as a comic book fan, I look at it more. How do I describe it? Like, it's more like for fans, I guess would be the proper word to say. But I get why some people might hate it. But yeah, I mean, like you were saying, it's not a perfect movie by any means, you know. But yeah, those are my like kind of my negatives, and like as a film, how I look at it. So.
Oh my God. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the fact that I had to. Well, all right. So everybody's dubstep. Anthony is dubstepping now. I think Jarrell's is good.
Yeah,
I don't know what the heck is going on.
Sound any clearer now or no?
Yeah, now you're good.
You're perfect right now. As soon as you left, Anthony just started like he got infected by the dubstep virus.
Oh, yeah. By the way, like in that people watching it's probably like, what the fuck are these guys doing? But on the you know, the group chat in here, just let me know on here because it's hard to like pay attention to like my phone and this. So, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, I'll type it in our hangout spot. But from what I understood of what Anthony was trying to say, is that, and correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know for a fact, but there were some definitely, like, the movie is not a perfect movie. There are issues here and there. A lot of them can be kind of nitpicky. A lot of them really do change the narrative, and one of your biggest issues was the amount of things that were cut out for the Joker. Is that correct? I don't know if he hears me. Does he hear me? Does anybody hear me? Yeah, Anthony. I'm trying to reiterate what you said because some people didn't hear it, so I just wanted to make sure.
Man. Yeah, that's one of the things I said. Sorry, I'm gonna restart because I didn't know my audio was acting weird. So. Cool hangouts I hate you so much, man. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, fucking Google Hangouts is on some bitch made, but no.
They really need to fix that.
They do, man. Like it's such trash. Like, am I still good right now? You still golden?
You're fine right now.
Okay,
You're
well,
good right
real
now.
quick, long story short, I cannot judge a movie. I can only judge it as a film. It's just flawed. It's very similar to Will Smith's last movie, Focus, to me, where it's not great. It's not terrible, but like it's just sort of meh. It's just very like in the middle. It's something that I would rather just watch sections of as opposed to watching the full movie from start to finish, basically.
Yeah. So and that's from you coming from a movie critic standpoint, though, right?
Yeah, but that's the only way. I mean, I can only judge a movie as a movie. I mean, maybe if there was like previous installments of Suicide Squad, maybe I could sort of judge it as a non-film sort of in that way.
Like lead-ups.
Yeah. Well, right now we're on the film side. Like we're on. I mean, you got any blows for it? Like as far as the way that they actually shot it. I mean, this is the time to talk about the negatives and the positives as a film.
I mean, I think the only thing I can say is like it's as far as like superhero films go, it's nowhere near the top for me, at least.
Yeah. All right. So, let's see. Let's go to this. Jonathan, you as a movie critic, what do you think about this movie? Like negatives and positives. Because I hadn't even gotten to my negatives yet.
Negatives. I don't know.
Negatives or positives. You can go any way you want to. You might have loved it.
Or positives. Okay. So, most people didn't like having Slipknot as a waste of a character. To me, that was just using it as a way to show what would happen if one character stepped out of line. And pretty much it happened in Batman Assault on Arkham.
Yeah.
It's just
KG Beast.
Yeah, exactly, with KG Beast. Now, I'm not really I want what you call a film critic. I don't go to movies to just critique them. I go to movies to have fun and to enjoy the movie. But if I were to, critique it as a film critic, I would say it's not a mess. I mean, some things are just like tiny little tidbits are missing. I can say that, but it's not a flat out mess.
Yeah.
Is my audio still bad?
No, you're good, Anthony.
No, you're sound. Well, I think we're safe, but she's coming back.
That virus, though. I'm waiting for that day that I get dumped up. Like, it hasn't happened to me yet. I thought it.
So we're getting specific about, I guess, positives and negative, or.
Yeah, because we've already gone through our impressions of it as a comic book movie. Now we're on it as just a film in general. The next section is going to be our thoughts on what the movie should have been, what it could have been, and our perspectives of what we seen versus the trailers versus what we got as a theatrical release. Because I got a lot to talk about that, but I wanted y'all to express y'all's thoughts negatively or positively, just as a film in general. If you didn't.
I mean, it's weird for me because I sort of have like a list of things that I thought were great and a list of things I thought were terrible.
You can go into your positives and then we can go into negatives because I got to introduce Ray in a second. So you can go into your positive first.
It's a short list, sadly, but I don't hate it. But I guess positives, I thought that my favorite scene was Extraordinary, which is where Joker, he jumps into the vat of acid or whatever the hell that was after Harley Quinn. I thought or actually put it this way, any sequence with the Joker I thought was fantastic. It's just that one was my favorite. Yeah. I liked the cinematography, even though I thought that the music overall was weirdly placed. I thought the music was great, and shit, what are some of the positives? What else was good? Will Smith was really good. The humor throughout was pretty on point, and I thought the chemistry between the cast was pretty extraordinary, actually. It's not even something I thought about going into the film, so that was actually a great surprise for me. Everyone clicked. There wasn't anyone part of the squad that I felt was off or anything, so that was cool.
Yeah, Yeah, I totally agree. Like, it was a really tight knit group. Like, they seemed like they were legit a family. Like, they've been working at it for years or something like. Because the chemistry and charisma was all throughout. Even the characters I didn't expect, like DIablo. Like, I was like, I didn't expect to like this dude, but like,
You know.
he pulled on
Oh,
some of the more emotional strings for me. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. It was. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just like little things, like Will Smith's kind of connection to his daughter, stuff like that. I really, really liked. I didn't hate the movie, people. It's the truth. I didn't. But I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah. All right. So everybody, I don't know if Ray is all put together or not, but Ray, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I think you might need to flip your camera.
I'm gonna have to physically like turn my laptop around. I don't know, like.
Where's your camera at?
All right, can you guys?
There we go.
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay. All right, I have to. This is gonna be super awkward. Sorry, I'm so late. Give me a minute. You guys continue.
You gotta embrace the awkwardness.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Awkwardness was.
You gotta take the awkwardness and you hug the awkwardness tightly. Okay.
No,
You just had a Harley
no.
Quinn moment, people.
Anyway,
What do we have here?
okay, look,
What
everybody,
do we have here?
chill out, everybody, chill. All right,
No,
so
man.
that's Ray. Ray, y'all seen her with a couple of the reviews that I've done. She's a huge DC fan and a comic book fan in general.
Can you guys
So
see me?
yeah, welcome, Ray. Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you, Miss Ray.
Welcome.
You guys are funny.
Shit.
I'm just gonna hold it up like this.
All right, Ray. All right, good. So, doing good. So, one of the things we did, Ray, is we did our impressions of Suicide Squad for two different reasons. One, as a comic book film, what were your impressions of it as just a comic book film? And then two, what was your impressions of it as an actual film? Like, if you were looking at something like Saving Private Ryan, or if you're looking at something like The Aviator, like, where does this stand up as far as a film? So, if you want to do your impressions of it as a superhero film, go that first, and then the second one, and then we'll move on.
Okay. I think as a superhero film, as far as being like faithful to the characters, I think they did really well on that front. I think the cast was like fantastic. I thought the characterization for everyone was pretty on point. So I mean, the cast and characters all worked as far as being a superhero movie. I think it delivered on that front. But as a good film, I think it fell short of that, and a big reason was Enchantress. I just feel like they went with the most generic cliche thing, and it kind of just destroyed the movie.
Yeah.
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 That's
That was like hearing someone preaching for me. Literally.
Oh my god.
Thank you. Thanks.
Nah, that was
Jarrell.
straight to the point. Like, she did it
That's what I
quicker
have to
than we
say.
all did. That was dope.
Yeah.
I haven't talked about my thoughts. For me, I really don't. As this being a film, I enjoy it, but there are so many different issues as far as with the editing that the whole narrative of this film does not feel the same as the first trailer that I saw. Like, me and Jarrell were talking about the very first trailer. I was like, this looks dope. This looks dark. This looks totally method in a lot of different ways. And then what I got was, a box office blast, which makes money because people love to have fun. Case in point, a lot of different other films. But as a film in general, like, there's a lot of different things that just did not add up. And I worry that the whole Enchantress part, the beginning of Enchantress, I thought was dope. I thought that the way that they actually had it, that sequence where she had her hand on the ground or on the table and it transformed back into Enchantress, I thought it was dope. It wasn't until her freaking brother came in the scene, is this normal, random CG, whatever the heck. Like, I was like, what in the heck is this? And, I mean, it really didn't make for her to be a real villain. Like, to me, I don't even classify her. She might be the worst comic book villain that I think I've seen, unfortunately. but she's not supposed to be the villain. In my opinion, that the real villain that should have been for the initial narrative was Amanda Waller, because Amanda Waller was the one that put all this stuff into place to begin with. And on top of that, Joker, even being in this film, like, he's kind of been like this love-struck kind of person trying to get his girl back, but it's out of control. It's not a necessity to help her. It's because he needs to have her around to continue his cycle of abuse. And that wasn't like drawn out into the film at all. And they cut sequences that explored that I specifically saw. And we're going to segue into stuff that was missing from the film and how that changed the perception of it from the audience and from the narrative of it, because it makes it so contrived that it's like, can you really take it seriously as what it was supposed to be versus what it is? And that I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just want to say one quick thing about Enchantress. I feel like she could have worked. I feel like she could have worked really well. When I was reading the first Suicide Squad from the 80s, what I liked about her was sort of her internal struggle with the character or with the witch and Enchantress, and her fear of I say Enchantress to turn into Enchantress, but will she say Enchantress to turn back into me? Will she could take over me completely? I feel like we should have seen her fighting along with the squad and seen the squad
first
bonding with June Moon and sort of helping her through her struggle with that. So then when she bolts, preferably it would be sometime during the third act, they would all have emotional motivation. Whereas the way they had it in the film, the only two people with emotional motivation were Rick Flagg because he loves her and Deadshot because he wants to redeem himself for his daughter. Everyone else was just like, okay, I'm bored. Let's save the world because why not? The world which has done nothing for us, which we've been complaining about for 90 minutes. Let's just go save it, So that's what I have to say about that.
No, those are facts. That's why I'm gonna segue into the next part of this. Is thoughts on cut sequences, deleted sequences, plot changes, and just the general narrative changes that were made. Whether you want to blame WB or not. There was definitely a different movie than what we got from a theatrical version. Can everybody agree with that, or am I in the monopoly?
This is true. This is true.
Okay, so let's get into this, because I did a whole video just listing off specific things that were rumored to only have been taken out of the movie, just for David Ayer to go on Enterprise Online or Empire Online and confirm most of all of them. And for y'all, I don't know how much of y'all read up, but I can tell you anything you want to know. What did y'all think about the scenes that were confirmed cut, that are rumored to be cut, and y'all's perception of what the movie should have been versus what we were given? Because after this, we're going to talk about what's going to happen moving forward with Suicide Squad, if we're going to get a different cut or whatnot. But what is y'all's thoughts on what y'all thought y'all were going to get? Man, did I go too deep? Hello?
I feel like I'm trying not to give my negatives yet, because mine are just they're so detailed and hyper specific. But
go ham, man.
As far as what you're talking about with the changes, I don't put too much stock into it. It's kind of a similar situation, say with Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. The ending was actually originally meant to be darker, and it's kind of interesting to think about that, but what we have is what we have, and not that. So, it would have been nicer to have seen the original cut, because it sounds like it was much bolder and darker, which sounds like something more my speed, but, it's hard to comment on something that we don't have. But then again, I will say I haven't read too deeply into what specifically was removed. I know there's probably a list somewhere, but
yeah, I've got the entire list. I'll read off some things to you, but I'll let y'all go, and I'll find that list right now. Who else has their thoughts on it? I'll read some of the stuff that was missing. I guess we can kind of calm off of that.
I can start now.
Go ahead.
I have a lot of thoughts. The deleted scenes, which were very evident just from watching the trailers, were what made me so initially disappointed with the movie. because Jared Leto himself said that they filmed enough scenes to make a Joker movie, and they really cut out so much of his and Harley's backstory, and that was one of my big problems with the movie. I felt like they kind of zipped through all the character introductions,
Yeah.
and there's so much to love and revel in with Harley's, meeting the Joker and becoming Harley Quinn. They kind of just skipped through all of that, and there was a scene that they cut out of the movie where he backhands her and she falls to the ground, but she gets over it and she kisses him anyways.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was what is a perfect depiction of their relationship. And when they initially, I think they wrote it so that he pushes her out of the helicopter. So
Yeah, he
obviously
did.
after that she's like, F you, man, and that's why we see her crying and taking off the pudding collar. But then when they did the reshoots, they made it so that she just thought he was dead.
Yeah.
So as a Harley Quinn fan, I did not really appreciate that. I really wanted to see her kind of, like shedding the Joker because it was her decision, not because she felt like she had to because he was gone. So that upset me, but I don't know. I'll be okay with that in the future as long as they handle Harley's and Joker's breakup correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that was good, actually. Anybody else? So I kind of go ham on
For
these comments.
for me, yeah, you're right, man. Like they cut a lot of scenes out, with Slipknot and Boomerang and Killer Croc being a bodyguard. There were some sequences about him. It doesn't really bother me that much, but if anyone from Warner Brothers or DC is watching this video right now, please, enough of these director's cuts. Like, if every movie that's going to be coming out moving forward is going to be a director's cut, like, I just think that's a waste of time, and just pull out the movie that you initially, wanted to make. And you're right, from that first trailer from Comic-Con last year, with that song that was playing, and it looked really dark, and it looked like these were anti-heroes that were going to be in this movie. But now we kind of got like just these comedic reliefs throughout, with some anti-hero things in them. But yeah, you're right, man. I think that whether or not DC is going to continue on doing this, I'm glad that Jeff Johns is now in charge of DC moving forward, because Jeff Johns, who wrote Flashpoint and DC Rebirth, he's going to be someone who is going to be kind of like the source to the comic source material because of what he's been able to do, in the past. And him and Ben Affleck, doing their Batman movie together, that's gonna be cool to see. But I'm hoping that DC can just learn from this and just release the alternate cut. Let's see the full movie in its own merits, and let's just judge it for what it is, regardless of if it's gonna be received better from fans or critics. I just think they should do whatever they want to do. They don't have to play catch up to Marvel. They don't have to prove that they could be funny or be more fun. They just have to make a good, compelling story and be a movie for everybody, not just comic book fans. And that's coming from someone who really enjoyed Batman v Superman. They don't have to, do that in every movie that they release. So those are my thoughts on that for sure.
Yeah. Blackwing, what are your thoughts on the cuts and the scenes that were kind of taken out? Because like I said, I mean, that was the reason why I wanted to make sure y'all had y'all time to impress upon the movie as in general, the theatrical that we got. No matter what, that's what we got, unfortunately. But from what it could have been, what are your impressions on stuff that you saw? Because I know you watched a lot of those trailers as well.
Right. All right. So growing up, I didn't read as many Suicide Squad comics, so as you can say, they're a little bit new to me, but I know their purpose. What I expected to see, I mean, I just expected them, round up a bunch of supervillains, give them a mission to do. If they disobey me, I blow their head off. That's what I expected to see. I mean, I didn't know what the mission was. I feel like whatever mission they give them, that's what they do. But in a way, I didn't expect it to be like a saving the world thing, like, oh my gosh, this person just took control of her heart, and now she's about to destroy the world. Like, what's the world has ever done to us? I mean, we're supervillains, so what do we need to save the world for? I get where they were going with that, but I didn't know why they had to bring that in. That's pretty much, from my standpoint, that's the only thing that bugs me.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll just go ahead and do my thoughts as quickly as I can. As I say, if y'all want to know my whole thoughts on all the different things that were missing from the film, go to my extended thoughts and perspective on an alternate cut that really, in my opinion, that Jared Leto is owed to, that we should have gotten, that we didn't get. But I mean, some small stuff is like the bar sequence, for instance. Y'all remember the trailer? I think the second trailer, they were all talking about like what their classifications of like alcohol that they wanted. Like really funny, intricate banter that kind of describes their characters in a categorizational perspective, and then it goes into the conversation that DIablo went into about his family. I thought that was amazing, and I feel like it was fleshed out better for what it was showing just in that small amount of time. And I mean, another thing, like Ray has said, is that there was a sequence that we saw footage of early on Instagram where Joker and Harley basically got into a fight. Like, she had tracked them down on a motorcycle. You could see the motorcycle in the different trailers, and she caught him up like while he was in his little Lamborghini or whatever, the freaking Inferno car he was in, and he pulled her off. And she pulled a gun on him, and other people kind of like saw it, and instead of shooting him in the head, he kind of was just like, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. She shot the other person, and she lowers her hand down. He just smacks her to the ground, takes the gun, puts it to his head, and doesn't do anything with it, and then they proceed to kiss. This whole sequence describes their relationship, regardless of it being a flashback or not. I don't think initially in the vision that was meant to be like a small cookie cutter flashback. And that's what we got. Every single time there was a flashback, you see like a little bits of lightning. But yet at the same time, I'm thinking in my head, okay, how can he really love her when he caused her pain by causing her electroshock therapy? And that's the other thing. One of the things that revealed is that he wasn't just kind of doing that to manipulate her mind. He was just doing it to hurt her because he wanted to. Like, that was just something that was fun to him. Really? And that was never even alluded to in any utmost in that small amount of time. And the sequence that Jarrell described was one of my favorite moments. Like, I love that audio bite. I love the way that it was kind of paced out. But even with that, he in the actual cut that was initially, which we don't know, he was going to leave her there. He wasn't going to go and save her because, if you remember, she doesn't know how to swim. So he had to go in and dive and get her, but he was just gonna let her go. It's like, all right, I'm done with this person now. I'm bored with her, but he couldn't, and that makes for a complicated mad love that we wanted as fans, and a lot of people didn't get that. And that's the whole thing that we're gonna segue into next. But I mean, there are a lot of deleted sequences, like even the whole beginning monologues. Like, they were supposed to be all linear. It's supposed to start off with Enchantress, like the actual person before they become Enchantress, and go from there. And I think that Rick Flagg got the short end of the stick just as much as Slipknot in a lot of ways because, like you said, he was the only person that cared about Enchantress. Nobody else was invested in her, and they didn't take enough time to pace her out for us to be invested in her at all. We just knew she looked cool, and then she just looked dumb. And that's kind of how the film fleshed itself out. But unfortunately, we got what we got.
Well, I guess there's one thing I just want to add about those this different version of Suicide Squad. Like, what are some of the? Is there like two main things from, or three main deleted scenes that you think that if they were put into the film that like it would change my mind? Someone like me.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are like three deleted scenes where I would be like, oh damn, I might have to like go 3 ratings up.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think from a tonal standpoint, just in the way that the Joker is, his perspective of this world, I think that it would change all the different deleted sequences I see. Like, you remember the guy that had basically fed Harley Quinn intravenously and to torture her? Like, the guy that he kind of, like, found, Like, remember when he was like, let me show you my toys? That sequence plays off a little bit more later on. And even with the sequence that we kind of described, like her finding him, and early, before she's even Harley Quinn, before that moment that you really love, that played out even longer. And I think that it would have described in a lot of different ways their true nature of their relationship. And it never was kind of progressed. Even from a violence standpoint, I think that the ending was completely different. This is the biggest one that you're probably going to be pissed off about. The very end of the movie, like Ray said, that he pushed her off, okay? And then the helicopter itself, it tumbled over, but he actually survived. He got out and he survived. And so at some point, before they even got into that ultimate fight with the Enchantress, once it was done, he caught up with the Suicide Squad, and he started getting into an actual altercation with them because she was like, all right, baby, I'm back. You're coming with me no matter what. She wouldn't have it. And so Suicide Squad it got into a fight with him. And so you remember that sequence where it looked like Endgame, where his face was kind of blown off in the trailer? That is that moment. That is when he actually pulled the pin on the grenade, threw it at them to get away. And, I mean, it's like, to me, that shows that there was a different ending even than what we got. I feel like that was what a lot of the reshoots were, to play it safe with saying, okay, Enchantress was the villain versus Joker being more of a investor in this. And I just know for a fact, for me, tonally, I totally thought I was going to see a different movie. But I went in with lower expectations, like Jonathan said, to not have that bother me. Like, I was like, all right, I know what I'm getting. I know I'm not going to get anything. But I didn't expect the cameos from, like, Flash or Batman. I didn't expect those.
Well, technically, we already knew about the Batman cameos, but the Flash cameo we didn't know about.
No, we did.
Yeah.
I did, unfortunately. I got spoiled that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I
don't know. It's just weird for me because usually with a director's cut or with an ultimate version, the usual mindset is that we're just seeing maybe a refined version of the film, but like it's never something. It's not meant to. At least to me, they're not meant to be like a totally different movie. You know, like the final cut of Blade Runner. It's not like a completely different thing from the theatrical cut. It's just like a bit. It's just a bit more refined. You know, that's kind of my issue with like this inevitable coming Ultimate Edition, this original state. Like, how different is it really? I mean, if it really is like another movie, then that's great. It's just I'm just kind of skeptical. Like,
yeah, I mean,
you know, that's not what a director's cut Ultimate Edition is supposed to be. It's not meant to be like this totally different movie. You know.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm seeing it for the first time again. It's not meant to be like that. It's just being more refined.
Yeah, and that was what I was like so blown about reading that Empire Online. Like David Ayer said, he had a specific version that he had, and because of a lot of worries with BVS, they wanted to add more hopeful things. Like even when you look at the dynamics of Joker and Harley Quinn, it seems like he's really trying to help pursue her. Even though they're conflicted, it seems like he's more the good guy and we want to love him, when that's not what was kind of presented in the realms of the film. So I think that they made a lot of those changes because of that. From a narrative standpoint, I really do feel like they cropped a lot of it out. We're never going to really know, but David Ayer went on record actually saying all that, which he hadn't, because now it just kind of picks up brain. But that's the big segue into this next section. So everybody knows that Marvel is crushing the game. Like, that is a fact. Ever since 2008, now, I'll say this before I go into this fact, though. A lot of people have been like, man, DC ain't never been crap. They ain't never been this. Okay, one, Christopher Reeve series, the Dark Knight series, even the freaking Michael Keaton series with Tim Burton, don't go for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't come at DC like that. Because they paid their dues, and at the same time, it's been a long process for Marvel, too. Like, until Iron Man came out, they didn't have that much to actually go on tangibly because X-Men had been failing for a lot of different standpoints. So I think
and Fantastic Four.
Oh, I mean, we're not even going to go there. But I'm just saying that at 2008, that marked the turn of what people's perception of superhero films could be from a lighthearted standpoint. But I felt that that was good because you got something like The Dark Knight that's more dark and differently toned, and Man of Steel. And then you've got something like Iron Man and, Incredible Hulk, and then progressively, Avengers. But now that is the staple, and ever since then, Disney has brought them out, and they've thrived, and Disney hasn't changed the dynamics of how they do things necessarily that we can prove, but they've really been doing a really good job. Now, with WB, like, a lot of people say WB is DC. Unfortunately, I don't think that's necessarily true, given the perspective of what they're doing with Jeff Johns now. Like, there are a lot of things that WB as executives that are changing because they are fearful, because they're trying to play catch up, that they don't have time in their heads financially to play it safe. And they really are calling themselves playing it safe, but they're really cutting and crippling the people they're trying to let, artistically show us something that we've never seen before. Right. And that is where I think some of y'all are going to be different on this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe more than one. But what do y'all think about the WB versus DC? Are they helping, hurting, crippling the brand of DC in general? Like, what did y'all thoughts on what WB is doing versus what DC as a brand are doing? Because they're totally different things. A lot of people think they're not, but they are.
They're two different things. Trust me, they are completely two different things.
So what do y'all think about that perspective? And that's even in the chat. Any of y'all in the chat as well.
I think Warner Brothers really just need to stay the hell out of this. Jeff Johns is co-running.
Let Jeff Johns work.
They need to, they just need to let him do his thing. Like, what did they do with Batman vs. Superman? They went to Zack Snyder and said, oh, it'd be cool if we could fit one extra showing per day and make more money, so why don't you cut the movie down? And he was like, all right, which was partially his fault. He should have stood up for his movie, because the Ultimate Edition is a great movie with all the plot holes filled in that people were complaining about. But that's a whole different discussion. And then it looks like Warner Brothers, they did the same thing again with Suicide Squad, and it's, the audience has been really divided on it. So I think, all these directors and writers have a good vision, but Warner Brothers are really messing with the execution, and that's really what it all comes down to. So they just need to stay out of it. Jeff Johns is in there doing his thing now. They need to just let him work.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a really good point, because when I think about Man of Steel, I don't feel like Man of Steel was ever tampered with. I think it was just as it was, but the perception on Rotten Tomatoes and from critics is they dislike the film, and that actually, for me, that actually made me start being more of a movie critic, because I was like, dude, I love this movie. What are y'all talking about? Like, what are you saying, But critics were bashing Man of Steel, and I don't feel like Man of Steel was interfered with at all. I think that was what, Zack Snyder wanted. I thought it was a perfectly executed film in every regard. But anyway, I'll let y'all keep going. I was interested in bringing that
up. I guess I'll go next. But yes, some people may not understand. WB and DC Comics are two completely different trademarks. Pretty much, DC is responsible for, publishing comic books, having their own copyrights with their comic book characters. WB is just in charge of putting the media out there and showing how it looks like, especially with their animation. Now, what I think, now that, Jeff Johns is taking charge of this, because to me, I think Jeff Johns is like my all-time favorite comic book writer, because everything I read that he written, it's golden. So with him giving elements of what to use and how to do it, I feel like it can't fail, because he's written Blackest Night, phenomenal DC event, Flashpoint, beautiful story event. Even he created the New 52. I know I wasn't like a big fan of the New 52. There were some things I did like, some things I really did not enjoy, but it was still okay. And then he gave us Rebirth, and we all loved Rebirth. So thinking of a man with Jeff Johns taking over the mantle, we know that it's in good hands. So if they're gonna have someone else to just look at the stuff and try to tweak it a bit, they should be like, no. Let Jeff look at the stuff before you need to look at it.
Yeah, and that plays into, even with the director, like somebody telling him no. Like there's like somebody that's a clear focal point of like, okay, this doesn't make sense, or this does. I'm gonna answer to this person, and we'll try to filter it from there. So I think that's very much so needed, because Kevin Feige is like destroying that because of that. He's a focal point for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I don't know. What about you, Anthony? What are your thoughts? And then Jarrell or Anthony, if you're one of y'all want to go next.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah. Go ahead, Jarrell. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I think that whoever's involved, like from a director standpoint and the studio, they need to rethink their strategy on how to present They need to listen to the fans way more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think. I think that's the biggest issue. The thing with like Kevin Feige and their team is that I feel like they're personally extremely in tune with their fans more so than DC is, cinematically speaking. Like for example, like when DC when they first or Warner Brothers when they were first listing off like their plans from now until like 2020 about like what the films are going to be, Cyborg or whatnot. It felt very sort of just felt like there's no fan love in it. Like for example, when Marvel came out with their plans for Phase 3, they had like all these logos. There was like this whole panel for the fans. You know, there was like different title cards. It was just different. It just felt like with Warner Bros. They just had like a slideshow and we're like, oh, so here's our plans. Okay, bye guys, and then like cut the call. You know, like I don't know. It doesn't. They need to listen to the fans more so. In fact, I feel like that's just it.
Well, to be the devil's advocate.
I don't want to go off on a tangent or anything, but
No. But to be a devil's advocate on this, like when we went to Warner Brothers, I mean not Warner Brothers, when they went to San Diego Comic-Con and we went to Hall H, they are course correcting that because
right,
the way they open up all
listen.
that, the way they open up all that, like y'all would be blown if y'all saw what me and Jarrell saw. Like every single one of the directors for all the movies out there, them showing footage of stuff that shouldn't even been out yet.
Right.
It was literally fan service at its utmost. I don't know, but at the same time, there's this anti-DC trend that's just like everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it's ridiculous now, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how to really describe it because it's like people justify bashing DC because they're saying that DC's always been trash, but that's not true.
No.
And then people saying that DC's trash now, I mean, you can't say that necessarily. You can have an opinion about, like, you don't like this movie, you don't like this, but to say, like, the whole entire franchise has been trash, that's not true. I don't just...
wrong with you?
It's, like, unknown hate. Like, I was talking to somebody today. I was like, I've never heard anybody say anything anti-Marvel. And there have been some jacked up Marvel films that have been horrid. But nobody goes on record on the media and be like, man, that was a terrible movie. Man, that was why would they release that? They go out of their way in every single report to talk negatively in every kind of way. It's like, okay, well, Suicide Squad, they reached 135 million. We can't wait for that 65% drop off. Oh, well, all right, they actually were number one, but this drop off was still not where it needed to be. And this is signs of something negative. Like, what the hell are you talking about? So, like, there is a real anti-DC nation out there, and that's the thing that us as fans, it's hard to say who are the real fans. Like those that are there in the theaters that are enjoying the perspective, like we feel jaded. Like, all right, well, we stupid for believing in this cause. So I'm a lover of Marvel and DC. They should be able to exist, and that's why I'm kind of like bringing all these things up because there's definitely some things that need to change.
Yeah, this
every
whole
realm.
The one thing I want to say is that like this whole concept of like, oh man, the critics just hate DC films. It's crazy. There's only been it's just Man of Steel, Suicide Squad, and that's
like 3 movies.
That's about it so far. As far as
Exactly.
like, why are people freaking out? Like, I mean, the early Marvel movies, they weren't. I mean, at least in my opinion, there was a lot of flaws there. But I feel like at least, you know, there was refinements, you know. Gotta give them some time, at least. Like, you can't just say, like, all critics just hate DC movies now. It's like, what? There's not even that many of them. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think that's the thing, though, Jarrell. I think that's a great point, that this is their 3rd movie. That basically would be, if you take Iron Man 1, 2, this is the Incredible Hulk movie. Like, and that's it. Like, but people see it that, and I think that's where Warner Brothers is kind of upset about, is that they are trying to play catch-up. And there's no way they can do catch-up the right way because they're not doing it the right way. They need to take their time and develop each one of these movies and branch them out in different segments the best way they can. Because if they took their time with it, they would refine each one of them as a quality-based film that will stand the test of time no matter what. Like, to me, Man of Steel does. Like, to me, that stands the test of time. Like, I'll always love the movie Man of Steel for my own personal interest. But I can understand from a corporate standpoint, it's like, okay, people are like, okay, well, comparing DC and Marvel, but they're not at the same level. DC is not at the level of Marvel just from the amount of films that Marvel has ahead of them. They're not going to be. And people are going to be overcritical of something that only has 3 freaking movies. And they're wanting it to fail before it can potentially succeed. But I think that there's a lot of us that want it to succeed because it's just the 3rd film. We want to be able to see these, you know, this is the best time for us as geeks and nerds and comic book fans to get what we've been wanting for years. And it's being crippled and suffocated by all this freaking hate. Like, real talk. Like, it's been terrible. Me and Jarrell got on a freaking live stream with 3 Black Geeks for 2 hours, 2.5 hours we had. It was nothing but dreaded hate. I felt depressed. It was so bad.
Wow.
I just think DC needs to read their hate mail, like just read all of it, and there needs to be much
Read their
more.
hate mail and read their good history to see how much fandom that they got, so they could look at those things and see what they need to use instead of creating their own things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot more fan service for sure. And stop trying to like shortcut. Like, I feel like the fact that we're at Justice League already just is so terrible for me. Like, it should have been timed better. You know, they should have kind of done what Marvel did in a way. Just take your time. Let's not like why they went from Man of Steel to Batman vs Superman plus the beginnings of Justice League in one movie is so bizarre to me. Like,
well, actually, no, they actually did it exactly how Marvel did it, because Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, Thor, then Captain America, which is 5 films, and then there's Avengers.
yeah,
So,
but they went, you know, Superman movie, then like Batman, Superman, and beginning of Justice League movie, then just went straight to Justice League. With Marvel, it's like, you know what I mean?
well, I mean, they're doing Suicide Squad, and then it's Wonder Woman, and then it's Justice League. So it's 5. It's 5 instead of like taking time to develop. I think Superman should have had a sequel. Basically, Superman probably should have had a sequel first in introducing. Okay, there are other people around, and then having the Batman Superman. Which is funny now that they're actually greenlighting a Superman 2, which is. But anyway.
Or wait, what movies DC wise come out before Justice League? Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman comes out before Justice League.
Is there anything else?
Comes out in the summer.
That's it. Wonder Woman. After Wonder Woman, then Justice League.
And
That's
then
it.
it's Aquaman, and then it's Flash, or is it Flash and Aquaman, and then it's Cyborg.
And we still got that Shazam movie.
And the Green Lantern Corps.
Oh yeah.
I think Green Lantern Corps and Cyborg are like the last one. It's like 2020 or 2012.
2020.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I don't know. I don't know who's the one that kind of set and perpetuated things up, but I can definitely say they're trying to play catch up. And I don't know what would have been the best way, but I can definitely say things have to change on every medium, not just from an executive standpoint, but just us and our perspective of how this is going to go. Because, I mean, I'm like, man, DC, y'all need to do what Marvel's doing. Just have your own thing, man. I don't know. What are you feeling, Ray? You seem like you got like a lot on your head.
I mean, I feel like, you know, with the amount of pressure they have and, you know, sort of making up for lost time, I feel like I think they did well laying the groundwork. Like I said, I think Warner Brothers just they have this weird need to come in and just screw everything up right at the end, which they need to stop doing. And I feel like if it weren't for them, like I feel like Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad could have been really freaking amazing, and I don't think anybody would be complaining about like, oh, like they're rushing it. It's like, no, like if you actually look at the storyline they've laid out, the sequence of events makes sense to me. I don't mind that they they're not doing 5 or 6 movies before Justice League, because frankly, I don't want to wait that long. I want my
Yeah.
Justice League movie right
You want
now.
it
And
now.
I feel like the way that they've written this story, I think it makes sense for it to come in like this. I do feel like they're rushing a couple of things, like Superman's death.
Yeah.
I feel like that shouldn't have happened so soon.
Yeah.
And I do feel like it's weird to push the Superman sequel like so far back. I feel like, I mean, I don't know. Basically, I'm not too mad. I feel like, things could be going much worse with the way that they're trying to rush things, and I feel like they're doing okay. They just need a little bit more support from Warner Brothers to do it.
Yeah. I don't know. Do y'all think that Warner Bros. Actually has faith in their directors and in their characters that they have? That's a bigger
They
question.
care. I think they just want money. They
Absolutely.
just want what's gonna make the most money.
Yeah.
Like with Batman versus Superman, like you and I were talking about it, Sam. Like they watched the Ultimate Edition, gave it a standing ovation, and said,
Why
like,
would you
"Hey,
not
we need it to be shorter so we can make more money, so we can fit more showings in a day." That's what they care about. And they saw the reactions to the Suicide Squad trailers, and everyone loved the tone of it when it didn't reflect the tone of the whole movie. So they were like, let's change the movie so that it's more like the trailers, and let's have the trailer people cut the movie. And it's like, that doesn't fucking work. That doesn't work. So that's my issue. I just feel like Warner Brothers just need to stay out of it.
Yeah.
They need to give DC their own studios, like Marvel. Marvel Studios makes their movies, and those movies are doing fine. I think they really just need to let Jeff Johns and their directors handle it, because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right.
Dang.
That's how I
She
feel.
just killed the game. Mic drop.
Thanks.
Mic drop. You heard it here, folks.
I am a lot of nerd.
Yeah. So I guess the final thing is what we'll do is like, what are our final thoughts on it, and then I'm gonna leave the floor open for questions from any of y'all in the comment section. It's like 20 y'all deep right now. This is freaking awesome. We've been going for I don't know how long, probably like an hour or some change. So anybody that's got questions, please leave them in the chat right now. I recorded a few questions some people asked. But what are y'all's final thoughts before we go into questions?
I guess I'll go first. Final thoughts for me is I really enjoyed Suicide Squad. I enjoyed it for what it was, giving us a taste. And like Will Smith said, this isn't a movie about good versus evil. This is about bad versus evil. And that's what we got. And I'm excited for what DC has to come next. We got Wonder Woman that's coming up next, Justice League, Flash, Aquaman, Shazam, another Justice League movie, Cyborg, Green Lantern Corps, a Batman movie, and apparently we have 2 untitled films that's supposed to be coming out in 2018 and 2019. Who knows? We never know what we might get, because DC, there's so many things in DC that we have not seen that we want to see. Like, remember the news about the Booster Gold and Blue Beetle film? We haven't got any news about that.
Yeah.
So if that could happen, I mean, it can work. I would love to see Booster Gold and Blue Beetle film, but to be honest, I have faith in these directors. I have faith in Patty Jenkins, especially because I watched the Wonder Woman panel. This is her first superhero movie that she's doing, and I think she's gonna nail it. And plus, for Wonder Woman being her first theatrical film, even though she appeared in Batman v Superman, but this being her first actual feature-length film, this is gonna definitely nail it out of the park. I promise you that.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Anybody else? Final thoughts?
For me, man, like I just want good movies out of DC. They have the source material right in front of them. You know, they have Superman, Batman, The Flash. They could do so many different storylines with their universe, and I don't think that Suicide Squad is like a misstep for them. You know, they're only in 3 movies. They have so many storylines they could go. I'm pretty sure soon they're gonna probably do Injustice in one of their standalone movies, like a Justice League 3 or something like that. Maybe in like Phase 3. But I think that what they can do now is just let Jeff Johns take over and just have his creative stamp on it. because he's one like you said, Jonathan, that he's one of the most like best writers in comic books. With Flashpoint and so on. So I think that what Warner Brothers needs to do moving forward is just allow these directors to do what they want, because the diversity of the directors is amazing. You got James Wan, Rick Famuyiwa, you got Patty Jenkins, you got Zack Snyder, who I'm a huge fan of, and you got other directors that are in talks to do Man of Steel 2, like George Miller, and I think that they do. I think like I know you asked that question earlier that do they have faith in their directors, and I think they do. I don't think they picked these directors just because they wanted to. I think they picked these directors because they knew that these guys are good storytellers. With David Ayer, it's unfortunate what happened to him, because I loved Fury, I love End of Watch, and Training Day is amazing. But I think that moving forward, they just need to let everything just go through and don't try to catch tomorrow, and you're right, DC loses either way. When they try to make it fun, they could get compared to Marvel. If they do, and at the same time, I agree with Ray. If they would have done Man of Steel, Batman standalone movie, Man of Steel, Flash, Aquaman, and then Batman v Superman, I think that would have been too long. I don't want a 10-year wait for Justice League. They already have that's why they have Batman v Superman, unfortunately. Which I love. But I think that they could do. They're not in any trouble at all. They're not. Because remember, what was their franchise they had before Man of Steel? Was the Harry Potter movies. That was their kind of like their extended universe. Right. And I think that the DC universe, they wanted to do what Marvel did, and that's why they got someone like Ben Affleck to be the Batman for this universe. And also I wanted to say that, and you were saying this earlier, that they should listen to the fans more. I get what you mean. They should listen to the fans, like the source material, but I'm saying like they should not listen to the fans on like decisions of what they should do. Because if they would have listened to the fans, then Ben Affleck would never have been the Batman that we see now.
Sure.
Which is like, and Ezra Miller wouldn't be the Flash, and Jason Momoa would not have been Aquaman. They would have had some fans, they don't know what their vision of the storyline is. Which is why I hope they do some kind of Injustice storyline. I hope that they could do a Arkham Asylum movie with Ben Affleck directing. That would be so badass. Like, that would be so dope. And I just hope that they could just allow that like I said earlier, I just want good movies, guys. Is that so hard to ask? Is that so hard to ask, guys? Like, I just want some good movies. I cannot have another Green Lantern. I don't want Batman and Robin, man. Come on, please, Warner Brothers, please, don't do that. Don't do that for us. I don't want this Blu-ray to be a waste of my time, man. Come on. Mic drop.
Yeah. No, I feel where you're coming from. I mean, fans should not be hating what they're doing, but like what they're doing now with Justice League, I think it's perfect. How they had so much press coming out while they were filming, and letting them sort of like give early feedback about their thoughts of what they saw on set. Stuff like that is great to me. The amount of love that they brought to Comic-Con this year, like it's like where was all this jazz with Batman vs Superman? You know what I mean? Like what they're doing with promoting Justice League now is what I was wanting with BVS.
Yeah.
Like in that sense, making the fans feel good in that sense. That's really what I mean by them listening to the fans. Like just ensuring that fans are just gonna go nuts when they sit down and watch the film and not want to eat each other like they are now, sadly. But I just want them to concentrate on making great films. I feel like that's where Marvel is at, where they're at right now. I think Kevin Feige and his team are really concentrated on making great films, not movies that sell, because they're so beyond that point,
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I just hope that Warner Bros. Like focuses on that more, because it's gonna sell either way. Just try to focus on making something that users are gonna think like, oh, that's great,
Yeah.
And don't show Superman in the trailer for Justice League, please. Don't show him.
God no.
Or you could probably show him like in the third act of the movie.
And then one thing I do want to say
is like that'd be cool.
Black suit, long hair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like the idea of how quickly we've gotten to Justice League and Batman vs Superman, but like for me, it was sort of when Batman vs Superman came out. I was like, man, the odds of them doing BVS and a setup for Justice League after only Man of Steel, it's like the odds of that being a great film is just so low. You know what I mean? I don't want to wait 10 years for something great, but I'm just saying I don't want some sloppy film at the same time. So
I get what you mean. Yeah.
just focus on great films. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that everybody? Ray, did you give your final thoughts?
I basically agree with, what both of you guys are saying. I trust the directors. I trust that they love the characters, and I trust that they want to give us a good movie. I just want Warner Brothers to stay out of it. But, and I can talk shit about Suicide Squad all day, but if I'm being real with myself, when I need to eat my weight in snacks and turn off my brain, I'm going to watch that movie. I'm probably going to watch it like 50 times. But, yeah.
That's dope.
That's funny. Facts.
Yeah, so my final thoughts is, man, like I said, I enjoyed the movie. I gave the movie a 7.8 out of 10. I graded it from 7.5 to 7.8 because the second time around, I actually enjoyed it a lot more. I appreciated like the certain notable moments with Jared Leto. I wanted more of him, but it wasn't enough to detract me away from the enjoyment time that I did get with him. The movie, for the ending and the third act, it felt like it was a whole different movie for me. I felt like it was rushed in, this whole Enchantress crap. But I really did enjoy the film because that still is the staple mode of most of the superhero films that I've seen before. Like, a lot of the villains suck balls. So that's just what I got in this one, unfortunately. Yeah, no, she's been the worst. But it's been the same exact setup in that perspective.
Yeah.
But I think that what I don't want is to have the feeling that I have with BVS, where I am never going to watch the theatrical version of BVS again. I will always watch the Ultimate Edition because that's the version that I can truly appreciate. Because I felt cheated. And if I end up finding, which I want to happen, like a alternate version or alternate cut of this movie, not a director's cut. This is not a director's cut. This would be a whole different movie. This would be the equivalent of I Am Legend's alternative movie to the regular cut that they got in the movie theater if they end up doing it the way that I'm thinking. If they give us the linear version that he was talking about, tonally, I really feel like I'm not going to appreciate the movie that I saw here. I can definitely say that I will enjoy it. I can probably put it on over and over and just watch certain sequences, but I feel like I need to see what happened. I need to see these other scenes. Even if it's the deleted sequences, I want to see them. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you keeping them from me? And that's where I kind of feel as a fan. My critic side, I don't really care necessarily because I did have my own thoughts about it, and that's it. That's the movie that we got, and there's nothing that you can do about that. Box office sales reflect what everybody sees in their perception of it. But for me as a fan, I really wanted to see this ultimate cut, this alternative cut, and to read the scene for it. So this is a good segue into all y'all's questions on the chat. So one of the first questions I read is, did you enjoy the film enough to watch an extended cut? Like, would you care to watch an extended cut of this movie? I guess all across the board, yes or no, or reasons why.
Yes. I mean, pretty much yes.
They made Courtney awesome, so yes, I would love to watch an extended cut.
All right, let me just say something about Courtney.
He's a Bonnie.
I didn't know who he was until I saw Suicide Squad. Okay, so
oh really?
I had no idea who Courtney is, why people were hating him or anything. I just saw the movie and Courtney, Captain Boomerang. Like, okay, I just went with it.
Cool.
Jarrell, what about you?
Sure.
Here we go.
Why not? I'll watch it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a segue. I'm game for it. It sucks that I'm gonna feel a certain kind of way about a movie that I got in the theaters. I think ADZ22, I forget the rest of his insignia. He said that Wonder Woman could break. Do y'all think that Wonder Woman will break the critics' perspective of this staple DC bad films? Do you think it could potentially break that mode?
Potentially, yes. But man,
it's
people
too
are
early to tell.
Yes.
I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel is going to get more praise than Wonder Woman, and that's just a really fucking depressing thought if you ask me.
Facts. Literal facts.
Who knows who Captain Marvel is who doesn't read comics? Like, honestly. And Wonder Woman is probably going to be a badass movie, but, you know, since it's sort of keeping with the dark tone that they initially set, I feel like people are still going to hate on it, and Captain Marvel is going to come out and get more praise for probably just being a popcorn flick. And
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I mean, well, I think that it has the potential of being a great movie, and if critics can get behind the movie and it ends up like, even if it's a 60% or like it breaks 60% on Rotten Tomatoes or it gets to maybe a 70%, there may be hope, because like to reach the female demographic, to reach those fans, that untapped market, people that have never seen this character on film before, I think it could be an amazing time. Like, real talk, like, because now that you know, Jeff Johns is a byproduct of all this. Like, now that they're actually having a Superman on this Supergirl show, and that they can actually add these characters now, and they're separate, then we could end up getting like a great Wonder Woman movie, and then having Wonder Woman work with what's going on with the TV universe. We could actually maybe get a Batman later on. So there's a lot of potential if critics give it, you know, if it's a good movie, if it is by their confirmation of a good movie. But I worry that that's always going to be just the bias. But there's definitely a huge potential there. I hope it is. I hope it is. I hope it does that before Justice League comes out. If it ends up being one of the best rated films, Justice League is going to kill at the market. It's going to kill. What's another question? What the heck? Has anyone else seen Sausage Party?
Yes.
I haven't seen
yes.
that movie yet. I don't know if I ever will. I mean,
Oh
I'm
my
hearing
God.
good
Will somebody watch this movie with me? Because I don't have anybody to watch it with.
Okay, like,
I'm gonna be out of town for the next week, but
this is
I would.
Dang, she said no, bro.
I would though. That movie is.
Like, I haven't
It's
seen it
freaking
yet.
ridiculous, but it's, oh my god.
So Joe saw it, and he's like, it's so ratchet, but he said he laughed most of the entire time. Like, he actually enjoyed the movie.
That's funny.
But nah, so Jarrell, you gave it like a 9, right?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I was like crying, laughing. I loved it. I don't. It sounds really awkward. It's like I've been talking about the film negatively. And I'm talking about fucking Sausage Party, but it was really. I loved the movie. Honest to God, it was so funny. Like, oh man, killed me. So
I
random.
can't think about that movie without laughing. Like, the humor might really be juvenile, and there might be some stuff that's like verging on just flat out racist, but
people, when you see the movie, for the record, again, I didn't hate Suicide Squad. I gave it like 6 out of 10. But Sausage Party, the character douche, I cried. I cried every time the douche spoke. I cried. Yeah, bro. Hey, like I cried every time. Anyway.
Dang,
I'm definitely watching this movie now.
Good God.
All right, I'll watch it on my own at some point.
It's just another hole, bro. Anyways, when you see the movie, you'll know what I mean.
I'll definitely try to watch that. The next question comes from some random dude named Blackwing 2040. Should we see Martian Manhunter on the big screen?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
All
why
right,
not?
I feel like, let me state the reason why I put that question there, because
Wow, this man asked the question, not answering his own question.
I'm answering my own question, because I know we already got Martian Manhunter and Supergirl, and that was a blown away experience for me after seeing that happen, because I feel like after the Justice League TV show got canceled, that was the last we ever heard from Martian Manhunter. We haven't really seen him in anything else besides, other TV shows like The Batman, Young Justice, Batman the Brave and the Bold, and then you had, the DC animated movies. He only had, 2 or 3 appearances in, and then after that, we haven't heard anything. Of course, we had a Martian Manhunter in Smallville, but he wasn't really, his Martian form. But
Well, they've got him on Supergirl though.
yeah, we got him on Supergirl. I'm just saying, if we want to see him, if we want to have like a full Justice League aspect for the Justice League fans and for the ones who knows about the Justice League history, we all know that the main 7 of the Justice League is the Trinity, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and Aquaman.
Yeah.
If we want to see that, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. And plus, if we're getting, the Trinity, Green Lantern, Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman, I don't have a problem with that either. But remember how they added Vision into Age of Ultron? To me, I was surprised that they added Vision. If they do the same thing like that, I feel like it could be, a good addition to for the Justice League sequel. I don't think they should put Martian Manhunter in the Justice League movie that we got coming up next year. I say we should save him for for the sequel.
Yeah, he could definitely play a whole different world. If they go into Mars as playing into his backstory, I think that makes for great character development for the whole entire group, because that's something for Kal-El to connect with, somebody that has gone through the same exact thing as him. Yeah, that would be actually really dope if they actually did that. Dang.
I would love that.
See, what's the next question? Well, I will say though, the reason they're not doing that, if they don't do it, is because they're trying to play off of the new kind of 52,
right. He ain't getting that much love in the new 52 either.
Yeah, and I wish that they would have kind of. I don't know how they're gonna handle Cyborg in the Justice League, but I want maybe a Teen Titans live action. So,
how long we've been asking for that?
That's a whole nother.
I don't know how I would feel about that.
Damn, you okay? You okay?
No, honestly, that's because I love the cartoon so much, and that group of characters is so important to me. When they announced that a TV show, like a live-action TV show for the Teen Titans, was in development, I got really scared, and honestly, I'm glad they're not doing it. I just feel like that could so easily be a train wreck, and I would rather them just not touch it.
Wow.
Well, Robin's dead, so that's never gonna happen.
That's facts.
Well, I guess it's not gonna happen.
I mean, because if you take a show like Teen Titans, it had such a huge fan base, really a huge fan base, and then when it got cut off, everyone was so sad that even though we got the DVDs, we still connected with these characters, and then lo and behold, Teen Titans Go came around. We still got the original voice actors, but we didn't get, it was just comedic trash, terrible jokes. And don't get me wrong, it has its moments, but majority of the time, it is not really a good show. I think it's more appealing to a younger audience, but to the classic fans.
And you know what's weird about that?
It ain't
what's weird about that? It has more Easter eggs than the original Teen Titans cartoon series ever had.
Exactly.
There's an episode when Robin kind of cave sits the Batcave. That episode is so good. That is amazing for any fan, and Batman makes more appearances on there. He was never in the original Teen Titans cartoon series.
Ever.
No, but there are so many
it was
nods.
It was like a little tease. It was just a tiny little bit of it.
There are so many nods to the rest of the DC universe in Teen Titans Go. It's just a shame that it is the way it is.
Yeah, the animation style they even made an episode that was picking on the fact of how they look, and I was like, really? Y'all gonna show me how they originally looked just to play off of the fact that I don't know.
That made me mad.
Yeah,
I love the part though when they put Starfire in her old costume from the 80s and stuff, and she was like, "What the heck?"
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah. When I was 10 years old, I picked up a legit Teen Titans comic, and I saw that, and I was just traumatized. I was like, "What the hell?" She just
traumatized. Wow.
Yeah, no, she's literally like a hentai fantasy. That's how they like to draw her in the comic books. She really is.
Once you get past it, you just gotta get past it the first time.
Did we just bust out the hentai?
If you look at the new 52 version of Starfire,
they still draw her like a sexy orange alien.
Exactly.
It's still gross. Even though it looks cuter, it's still gross. I don't know.
Moving forward, the next question, I don't remember who asked it, was what's taking so, I think it was Corey, what's taking so long to cast Green Lantern?
Oh, you just
Nathan Fillion is too old, man.
They just announced that he's gonna appear in Justice League.
Wait, what?
One?
Wait, what?
Quando?
Look it up, yeah.
Yo,
They
give me
announced it like the other
the
day.
article right now, son.
I was
Yeah.
about to say because he's not coming to like 2025 or some bullshit, but
Uh-oh,
No,
the virus
like-
is back.
Yeah.
back.
I
Virus is
saw
back, bro.
I saw a headline the other day. I didn't read it because I didn't want that many details. But I saw the other day that Green Lantern is confirmed for Justice League Part 1.
Holy crap.
Oh yes.
Who's playing
Well.
him then?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, if y'all remember from BVS, that dude that was like the pilot of that drone, the speculation,
Yeah.
even the guy was like,
Yeah.
I have scenes that, you know, are more about who my character. They never told who he actually was, and that's what I was left to assume was that Hal Jordan. But even Zack Snyder said we wanted to make sure we left him out, and he didn't allude to his character at all. And I just thought it was so weird that you randomly take so much time with that. But then again, they've done that with Jenna Maloney and then Scott Eastwood, so well, I can't put too much face to that. But I don't know. Who do y'all want him to be?
Like, I want Nathan Fillion to play Green Lantern, but I think he's kind of old.
Everyone wants
He's
Nathan
way too
Fillion
old,
to play
man.
Green Lantern.
I
Way
know,
too
but come on, he's like 44, 45. Tom Cruise is like 50-something, and he still looks like he's like in his late 30s. Come on. You could
But-
he just needs to like work out in the gym a little bit, you know?
But real talk, who do y'all think would be a good Green Lantern though? Hal Jordan Green Lantern. We're not going into Tyrese Gibson. We're not going into each other. This
Come
Hal
on,
Jordan.
man, John Stewart.
What
Come
you got
on,
against
man.
Tyrese Gibson, huh?
no, I
Denzel
don't got
needs to play
nothing
Jon
about
Stewart.
man. This is such a huge debate that like I don't want to go into this. Like, who do y'all think should be Hal Jordan? That's the question.
Shoot, that is a really good question, bro.
Oh man.
Did Tyrese just
Decisions.
get the curve? Is that what just happened? Tyrese is off the table?
No. We're not talking about Jon Stewart. We're just talking about Hal Jordan. That's it. Who do y'all think? Who could
That is a good
play
question.
Hal
You
Jordan?
know, oh, man, who would be a good Hal Jordan? You know, I there was a time when I used to thought that Chris Pine would have been a good Hal Jordan, but he's already
Everyone
playing Steve
thought that.
Trevor.
Everyone thought
You know,
that.
Yeah, he would've been great. Hal Jordan.
yeah. You know, he would have been great, but there was a rumor going on a while ago that Colin Farrell was in talks to be in Justice League, and I'm not sure if he might have been, you know, auditioning for Green Lantern or not. But he's a good actor. I liked him in True Detective, but I don't think he could have that charisma that is needed for Hal Jordan. There's so many choices, man. Like,
You need that real ladies' man aspect for Hal Jordan.
I
And
mean,
you
I
gotta
think-
have that you have to have that cockiness as well.
I mean, I think Colin Farrell, acting-wise, he could definitely do it. I just don't know about age-wise if he should.
No,
Yeah,
he's no.
I think he's a little bit too far up there, but I think he could definitely play it, like, for
Yeah.
sure. I don't know. I think this is too hard of a question. I don't even know how to answer it myself.
I don't have
Well,
an answer. Someone with
alright.
charisma. Someone handsome with charisma.
Exactly,
I think
yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, like, had that movie
no.
different. Had that movie been different, I think he was fine for the role. It was just the rest of the movie was just a train wreck.
I think the movie did him an injustice because I think he probably could have actually done some more with it. I think he's a good enough actor that he could have spent that a different way.
Fantastic actor.
He's actually a really good actor. He's just, I don't know, he's been in some train wreck movies. But we'll move on. All right, somebody asked, could everyone please give their one future wish superhero casting? Like, who's their
Oh
person
my
or
God.
character and the person that you would love to be that character? I know who mine is already, but y'all go ahead.
That was a tough one.
I have no idea.
Wait, for us or
does
like
that have to
who
be-
do we want
does that have to be, like, Does that have to be superhero or can it be supervillain as well? Like any
It can be either or.
Supervillain. Let me say this because I was thinking about it the other day. Natalie Dormer, I think, would be a pretty cool Poison Ivy.
Ooh,
you
I think she'd
you
be
definitely
cool.
would.
She stole my character,
Damn.
but yeah. She stole my character.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I got one.
I say Jensen Ackles would make a dope Red Hood. I mean, he did the voice of Red Hood,
He's
but
too old. I'm sorry for saying that.
Good
Damn.
God.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wow.
live
Go ahead with
action
your
wise, I feel like Jensen could pull like a Red Hood, a live action Red Hood, because he already got the character down. But if we could see like a live action portrayal of Red Hood, I can definitely see that from him. Because he has like the demeanor and the anti-hero perspective in the tone of his voice and as in the roles that he plays, like even on Supernatural.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal as Green Lantern. Bryan Cranston as Lex Luthor Sr.
Damn.
And also, I would love to see Kit Harington as Nightwing. That would be cool to see too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Damn.
I agree with that last one for sure.
Holy crap. Jarrell.
I think I don't know. Because a lot of the casting, ironically, I feel like casting has been like the least of my worries so far. So I feel like a lot of casting has been fulfilled for me personally. But I don't know. I don't know how old he is, but I think Tom Hardy would be an extraordinary Wolverine. I don't know what else. I don't know what else really comes to mind though.
Neil Patrick Harris as the Riddler.
No. Leonardo DiCaprio as the Riddler. That would be cool.
I don't know. For me,
he'll never do it though.
There's characters that I hope have great roles. There's not like, roles that we haven't gotten yet where I'm like, oh, I need this actor that hasn't. I'm not really at that point.
No, wait. Leonardo DiCaprio, you don't think he would ever do a Hal Jordan, right? Like,
No,
I'm just asking. That's not my pick. I'm just asking.
Never.
He's too
I
artsy
think
for a superhero movie.
Okay. Just curious if anybody's in it. All right.
I think I don't know. For me, I would say actually that I personally wish that not was it Black Adam or some shit that he's supposed to be playing?
Yeah.
Personally,
The Rock,
I think he should have been Green Lantern. There might be like some kind of there might be some racial issues, but
wait, who?
The
Rock.
As Hal Jordan?
You mean as no, he's talking about Jon Stewart.
Yeah, Jon Stewart, whatever.
We got the bald head for it.
I mean,
Are you sure?
I think he would have to. He'd have to be a little bit smaller.
I don't know. I'm not.
But he could definitely do it.
Yeah.
I think he'd be more than capable of doing it.
Because I feel like whoever's playing Green Lanterns might be in the shadow of this motherfucker as Black Adam. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I think the reverse is going to happen. I think they're going to be trying to get people to love Green Lantern. They're going to be like, nah, for whatever reason, people keep loving the Black Adam. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. So, I don't know. Alright, so for me, I had a random pick. I have two random picks. Like, one is Marina Barkarin. If y'all know her from Deadpool and Gotham. I think that she would be an amazing Catwoman. I think she's got the face for it. She looks it. She's the perfect kind of age.
Who is
She
it?
plays Vanessa in Deadpool, the love interest.
The love interest
as Catwoman?
Yes. Yes.
I can see it. I can definitely see it.
I think I literally, when I look at her, I was like, that's the kind of face that I would see for Selena Kyle. And to
I can
see
definitely
her
picture her as Catwoman right now.
I would be like, what? No. Anyway, moving forward. My second one, I don't think it'll happen, but I don't know anybody else that can play a lovable, childlike character like him. Since you were bringing up The Rock, I was thinking about Shazam. For casting Shazam, no, not John Cena. Channing Tatum.
No.
I think that Channing Tatum could actually be Shazam. I think he could bulk up to it. I think he has that comedic timing to play it, and he acts like a child a lot when he does those 20-second Jump Street
21 Jump Street, yeah, he could totally do it.
So those two are my random picks. And then my top pick I've always wanted is Idris Elba as Jon Stewart. Like,
we all want that.
I want him as Jon Stewart. He's got the I don't know. He's just got it. Like, I think that he would annihilate as Jon Stewart, especially now that we know that the Green Lantern movie is going to have Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and potentially Kyle as well. So, I don't know. Those are just my picks. I don't think anybody else asked any more questions, did they? Because we kind of running a little long.
Yeah.
So, we need to get to sleep. It's like 10:50. It's a good time to stop. Anybody else got any thoughts?
What about what we want for like a Suicide Squad sequel?
Ooh.
If anyone has
Deathstroke needs to be in the sequel.
Yes.
Facts.
Yes.
Yeah, he's good in the
Yes. Absolutely.
Played by Tom Hardy.
Deathstroke, I say put King Shark in there as well. And maybe Black Manta. Maybe.
I think
Yeah, because he's gonna be an Aquaman, so.
I think Black
that
Manta
would
is a
lead into
given.
Aquaman really well, I think.
He's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be in it. Who are they talking about casting for Black Manta? I feel like there was somebody that wanted to petition to be him. I forget who it was.
A lot of people said a lot of fans are petitioning the actor, the guy who played the officer from Trapped in the Closet.
Never seen it.
No clue.
Oh, you talking about the dude from Boardwalk Empire?
Yep,
The
him.
black guy. He's a good actor. He actually could do that.
Are you talking about the guy with the
Scar.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's already got the scar.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the scar.
I would have loved to see Michael Jai White play Black Manta too.
Or Michael J. White.
I think Michael J. White would do good as the son. But I don't know about. I think he's a little bit too young to play Black Manta right now. But either way, I don't know. As far as Suicide Squad, I think y'all had good picks. I don't have anything. Killer Frost, somebody said in the chat. Killer Frost would be dope.
I would like to, as far as plot points for the Suicide Squad, I want to see them develop Harley and Joker's relationship more. I want to see that abusive background that we got robbed of. I want to see maybe like Poison Ivy. I want to see sort of like, I mean, I don't want it to be a Harley Quinn movie, but I want to see like a lead-in to her spinoff.
Okay.
Basically. As far as other characters,
What about Bronze Tiger?
that would be cool. Vixen too. I think what's her face? Jada Pinkett Smith said that she would like to play Vixen in a Suicide Squad.
She could
sequel.
definitely pull off Vixen.
Yeah.
And more backstory for Katana.
Yes.
She got nothing.
Katana's an awesome character. I love Katana.
She got nothing.
She was awesome. She was awesome.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that she's in the movie.
Yeah. Such a freaking shame, dude.
Yeah, that's another thing. There was a deleted sequence at the final fight. For some reason, Killer Croc attacked Katana.
Yeah, we
And,
saw
like-
that in the trailer.
And, like, she used her sword, because her sword, if you don't know the backstory, it holds the souls. I mean, they glanced over, they talked about it briefly, but it has the souls of the people that she's kind of killed as well as her husband. And it's like, they never really had that moment to shine for her. She's the only one that, in my opinion, besides Slipknot, that didn't get their just awards from the time frame that they had with her. So I agree, Ray. I think that she definitely deserves that more screen time
Yeah.
to flesh her out a little bit better.
I feel like that scene when Enchantress was showing them all what they really wanted. I think sometimes in the comics they show us like Katana's fantasy is sort of like in a meadow with her husband and he's there and she's talking to him. I think if we saw something like that, that would have been so dope.
Yeah.
But we didn't even hear his voice.
Nope.
Like anybody could have been like in the Birds of Prey comics, which I've been reading recently. Every time she talks to her sword, they're like, "This bitch is crazy. Like she's delusional." Like if we could at least get, his voice, like at least I don't know. That would have been cooler.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Does anybody have anything else? I think that's it. So everybody, I need to put the information down, but definitely go check out Anthony's channel. Anthony, where can everybody find you on Twitter and YouTube?
Yeah, you can find my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Anthony Rodriguez. You can follow me on Twitter, Anthony142013. Yeah, it's been fun talking to you guys. I hope we have more discussions in the future. Yeah, be sure to follow everybody here. You guys are awesome, and I had fun. So
Yeah, always a
Nice
pleasure,
talking to you
Anthony.
guys.
Yeah, for sure. So Blackwing, tell us about you and your channel real quick.
You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube, all Blackwing 2040. And I just wanted to keep it, short and simple because I didn't want to, change my name up for everything. So Blackwing 2040 for Twitter, same thing for Instagram, and the same thing for, YouTube. Um, and of course, mostly you guys, could check out my voice acting videos. One of my videos is about to hit 1,000, so that's also
Nice.
that's awesome.
What's up, bro?
Yeah.
Sweet. Ray, I don't know if you want to broadcast. You're kind of new to the squad.
Yeah, I'm not on YouTube or anything. I don't really tweet, but I'm on Tumblr a lot. So my Tumblr, if anyone cares, is onlyposers-die.
Wow, that is most more bizarre. I'm gonna write that down.
So if you guys care, go ahead. Yeah.
Only portals died. Y'all heard that first.
Yeah.
JOR-ELS, where can everybody find you, bro?
Just look me up through my YouTube channel. It's JOR-ELS, just like the father of Superman, JOR-ELS Alexandria. That's where I'm at. Reviews, reactions, that sort of thing. All there.
Yeah, man. So it's been real, everybody. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. We literally have dissected Suicide Squad to the utmost. We could have probably went and dwelled on a lot of negativity, but if you just want to do that, go to every other YouTube review. So, you can find that everywhere else. You don't have to find it here. Mine is John Snap, Jeremy Johns. You'll find it negatives everywhere else, so don't even worry about it. I don't even want to go there. Don't get me started about Grace. Because Grace, she said that was like, you know what? The reason why Jared Leto's scenes were taken out because he was trash. And I was like, what?
Damn.
I was like, dang. So you saying that?
I didn't say much about Jared Leto's Joker. I'm in the same boat with you, Sam. Like I didn't see enough to say that I love him, but I will say that I feel like he was kind of screwed over by janky editing. Like the few scenes where he talks, it just feels like everything is like very, very jumpy, and he just seems like he's doing too much.
Yeah, you really can't
So I
tell.
see why people don't like his performance. I was into it, but I need to see more before I say like he was complete trash.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's a whole other question for another video. Are we gonna get that Joker cut or alternate cut? But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We're out. Everybody, I'll talk to y'all in just a second. All right, peace.